Hello, David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience. Welcome back. All right, I travel, sort of a licensed troubleshooter, if you will, and today is no exception. It's not even 5 a.m. in the morning, but I'm heading out to Bedford, Texas. Why? Because I'm heading back to the Rock Island auction. It's the American auction today for several reasons. Number one, I'm going to be meeting up with quite a few people from the Bond community. We're all gathering together. We're all kind of interested in, the history of weapons and armament and other historical artifacts. And Rock Island Auction, they just do it right. It's really fantastic. I did another video on them when I was sort of first experiencing the world that they created in Bedford, Texas. And I'm heading back to see some familiar characters. But there's another mission I'm going on. You see, I know that they're going to have over 150 different pieces in this auction. I want to take in the surround sound. I want to take in the environment. But if I'm truly going to be a licensed troubleshooter, I need a particular focus. I'm going to be looking for spy and movie-oriented pieces. I'm on the hunt. And you know something? There are some specific guides, historians of weapon artifacts that I think are going to be helping Sherpa me on my way through. But it's not going to happen here in my studio. I got to get. Okay, I've landed successfully. I am here, comfortable. Feels like a home away from home at Rock Island Auction. And as you can see, they're getting set up right now. We're going to get to know a few of the people here, maybe see some familiar faces. Just as an FYI, I've decided to wear my Tudor. It's a little bit of a Jack Carr nod, but it also, I just like it. My shirt is a gray flannel shirt, kind of a 1960s vibe from Gray Flannel, Timothy Everest, you know him. Got the linen pants from Oliver Brown because it's 101 degrees outside in Bedford, Texas. But you know something? Things are very cool inside. Let's get to going. You can sort of tell the tables that have been reserved for the Bond community because they're fully decked out and themed with James Bond magazines. Very nice. I told you you'd see some recognizable people. Matt from Rock Island Auction. Matt, thank you so much for having me back.
Thank you so much for coming back at this truly historic auction. I have so much to tell you about it.
I can't wait. He's going to give us the strafing tour, excuse the pun. So let's check this out.
All right. Well, welcome to the American sale. It's truly historic. It travels through time, through fine historic firearms, from the American Revolution to the Global War on Terror, Manifest Destiny, and the American way of manufacturing. And when you walk through the doors, we have a true national treasure right here. This is what is known as the Armistead sword. So Armistead was in charge of Fort McHenry. Of course, the famous fort where Francis Scott Key was inspired and wrote the Star-Spangled Banner. Now, Armistead commissioned and raised the Star-Spangled Banner, which now is housed in the Smithsonian. This is his solid gold hilt presentation sword that was given to him posthumously after the Battle of Fort McHenry. It's truly a national treasure, solid gold hilt. It's absolutely fantastic.
Beautiful.
Right next to it are maybe the most opulent pistols I've ever seen. They are Smith & Wesson, a pair of Smith & Wessons encrusted in diamonds. They're solid gold frames encrusted in diamonds.
Oh my gosh.
They're truly beautiful. You really have to behold them in person to get what they truly are. But that's just when you walk through the door.
That's first impressions. In other words.
Absolutely.
That's all that is. But there's more.
Moving through, from Armistead to our next national treasure. This is Henry serial number 1. And you might be asking, what is Henry? Henry was the first popularized, or one of the first popularized lever guns that later was taken over and was backed by Oliver Winchester. So what you're seeing here is affectionately the first Winchester, the first Henry. It's serial number 1.
By the way, we got Kyle Barbo here. We're going to go on the tour, so hang with us.
All right.
And Nate should come over too. I told you you'd see celebrities here. Look at
Familiar
this.
faces
Kyle
everywhere.
here.
Well, welcome. So not only is this serial number 1 Henry, which means it's serial number 1 Winchester,
Right.
but it's the only Lincoln cabinet gun that is not in an institution. Out of the 3 guns, this was presented to Edwin Stanton, Abraham Lincoln's Secretary of War. And of course it was given to him. He was Lincoln's right-hand man. And
Which one is he up here?
the man with glasses.
Okay.
And Oliver Winchester's in the middle. And so this gun is a national treasure. Lincoln's of course, in the Smithsonian.
Mm-hmm.
And Seward's is in the Museum of the West. So this is the only one not in institutional hands. It's truly an amazing piece. It's also one of the headliners of this sale.
Amazing.
So moving from the Civil War to modern firearms, an absolute tour de force. This is a modern Colt single action army as done by Winston Churchill. This was his last gun that he engraved, and then finished by Damian Connolly. If you go to rockislandauction.com, our YouTube channel, we have a mini documentary about this gun. Over 9,000 hours in the making of this gun and the case. Gold inlay. It celebrates the American West. On one side showing cowboys and what they do, and the other one Native Americans and the animals that they find sacred. Every piece of this has been touched in a way that makes it absolutely spectacular. It's the greatest modern single action army ever created. Well, this is a spectacular set. This is the lever gun and 2 pistols from legendary Texas Ranger Joaquin Jackson. Of course, he was on the 1994 cover of Texas Monthly. He became famous. He also had a prolific career in Hollywood, acting in movies, but his last movie that he advised on was the Taylor Sheridan film Hell or High Water. And Jeff Bridges actually is almost the identical character to who Joaquin Jackson was in real life. He plays that aged Texas Ranger. This is his hat, his lever gun, his Colt Commander, and his Model 29 that he was known to wear on horseback when tracking down men. And his holster rig. It's truly a piece of history.
Will this be auctioned as a set?
This is
Okay.
all a set, as well as it comes with quite a bit of documentation.
Yeah.
Let's talk some war history.
Okay.
So this gun is obviously the bad guy gun. It is the AK-47, and this Chinese-made AK was actually a bring back from the Vietnam War. Lieutenant Colonel Frank Bliss was stationed in Hue City during the Battle of Hue, and this is a gun he picked up and used during the Tet Offensive. Of course, brought home and now is a transferable machine gun. It is every war movie from Vietnam on, it's the bad guy gun, right?
Gun,
But it's a fully automatic. It's a true war bring back. It actually has shrapnel wounds on the other side from being shot at. It's it's pretty awesome. And then moving backwards, whether you're watching Saving Private Ryan, Band of Brothers, or any gangster movie, you recognize the Thompson submachine gun. And this one is actually, it has such a great story, it overshadows what a Thompson actually is. This is a second year production, 1921 Thompson submachine gun that was shipped to Metz, France for the French resistance during World War II. They were dropped out of planes most of the time. This one, and many like it, were in a crate that was seized by the SS. The crate was never opened. And then Mr. Hoy, Wilfred H. Hoy Jr., he was a lieutenant colonel. He's an absolute American war hero. Picks up this gun, frees it from SS rule, and then proceeds to carry it all through Europe for the rest of his time. He was awarded the Distinguished Service Cross, the second highest award that you can get under the Congressional Medal of Honor. And he brings this back, and it stays with the family until the family consigned it to us. It's a true piece of American history. I know I've said that a lot, but it's also the iconic Thompson of World War II. And you can actually get your hands on it. Getting to play with this gun was pretty amazing.
Can I ask a question about the tank behind this?
Absolutely.
Is this for auction, or is it always here as like a...
It's
background piece?
Maybe it will go for auction at some point. We have auctioned quite a few tanks before, but this one we use as a prop.
So that answers your question, Kyle.
Yeah, it might be a little too big for the garage.
It does start. We do move it through here. I haven't got to drive it yet, but I'm hoping.
Someday.
Here's a couple. That's right. Serial number 42, Colt, 1911, U.S. military gun. Of course, the prolific gun. I mean, the 1911's been in every movie, and of course, the German Luger. You know, they are adversaries, nemesises, but beautiful condition, rare configurations. That's cornerstones and the pillars of collecting. It's just some of the things that we have. Of course, this sales quite a
Kyle,
bit.
can you name 2 movies where you see both of these?
Sure. How about Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade?
Yes.
That guy carries one of those.
That's right.
1911, probably the most famous movie I can think of with a 1911 scene is Saving Private Ryan, when Tom Hanks is using it to shoot the German tank at the very end.
Absolutely. You'd be right.
We got pros here.
Some other war bringbacks, things used in war, but I want to show you this Walther PP, expertly engraved, and it's made to look like the twin to Patton's gun, but Lieutenant Colonel Andrews had this made from the 90th Infantry Division, the Tough Hombres. It's in spectacular condition, and you could almost see this in a Bond movie, couldn't you?
Absolutely. I don't know if it'd be the bad guy or a Bond because it's so brassy, loud, but
exactly.
it's not very subtle.
I think it's an M gun. It's probably that M desk gun. But of course, we have U.S. Marine Corps 1911, the last 1911s that were issued. We have a very rare Union switch and signal. Of course, we have engraved the Tokarev, which I'm sure was in a Bond movie. It was the sidearm for most Chinese and Comblock countries. It's a Tokarev.
GoldenEye, was that the one that the guy has in his holster?
The bad guys.
The bad guy.
And,
Because I have that holster without the gun.
Well, we need to get you one
3
of those
years.
guns.
You're going to have to get the gun.
I'll have to get the gun.
The last gun that I really...
Solo blaster.
It is, and this one's actually interesting. It's a very early model C96 broom handle Mauser that went to Manila, and the man carried it as a sidearm in Manila, and that's what the inscription is on the side. I wanted to save kind of the best for last,
Okay.
because we have a bona fide spy gun that is tied to a movie. It doesn't look like too much, but this Colt 1903, of course, was a sidearm general officer's pistol. This one was part of a shipment for the OSS. And the OSS is the precursor to the CIA, but this one goes even farther. It's documented to an individual that was part of the group that the film Inglourious Bastards was based on. Jewish American soldiers going over there, becoming spies and American heroes. And this is documented to one of those individuals. We have some reels on it at Rock Island. It's in spectacular condition. It comes with the holster, but a bona fide spy gun that's tied to a movie. I figured that's a gun we should end on.
Perfect. Antonio Magretti.
We need 3 glasses of whiskey.
Oh, you did it wrong.
3 glasses.
3 glasses.
Three.
I speak the second most Italian here. Yeah.
Oh, you're getting shot for that.
Yeah, I know it. But I mean, this is a small auction, but a very important auction. Pieces of American history, and we have a ton of sporting guns, engraved guns. We have beautiful works of art from the likes of Frederick Remington and Martin Greeley. I mean, it's going to be an event. We are going to, I have to tell you this, nobody knows this yet, but we have Don Graves. He is a 101-year-old World War II veteran. He was the flamethrower on Iwo Jima. He was one of 8 men who survived from his 330-member platoon, and he's coming to sing God Bless America to kick off our auction. I'm so excited to meet him, a true American hero that just lives in history, and he's taken the time to be with us.
Amazing. Okay.
So Winchesters are the cornerstone of American fine arms collecting, and we have a few amazing pieces. Now, these are standard Winchesters. These would be what the rank and file, the farmer, the rancher, the average man would use every single day. But these are in spectacular condition. In 1876, the Centennial rifle, and the 1873, the gun that won the West. We have 2 beautiful versions of it that are some of the best that are still out there, because these guns were used up, right? They were in a saddle scabbard. They were put up in a barn. These were something that was a tool that was used every single day. They weren't the heavily embellished guns. These were the working man's guns, but to see them in this condition is a true time capsule.
Matt, we talk about storytelling. You talk about storytelling all the time. How are these either rescued or preserved over the years? Are they passed down from generation to generation?
A lot of times, I'm not 100% sure on these individual ones,
But just in general.
Yeah, so we've had something like the Marshfield Find, which was in a house in the Northeast. It was in its original crate, and the family had bought it brand new, stuck it up in the attic, and where it rested until they brought it to us. Beautiful gun, you know, very little wear. Thank God it didn't rust up there. But that's what these are. You know, when it's a tool, people take care of it, but normally you see them without any finish or anything like that. These were taken care of really well. So they were placed in a closet, they were placed in a corner, and they were just passed down through generations. You know, you hear of like barn finds, things like that. Those things are still out there. Go check your attics, go check your grandparents' basements, and check it out, because we found things in rafters of barns. We found things in vehicles at junkyards where you open up a trunk and there's beautiful things in there. But it's truly amazing what you do find out there. And every single time we have an auction, I'm always kind of dumbfounded. How did this survive? Look at this piece of history. And it's exemplified really within these Winchesters. So a lot of these animals were taken by the Hogans themselves. But this is our boardroom. This is kind of an epicenter where we sit and have meetings.
Work is done here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not just to gawk and be in awe.
No, but they
There's
wanted
work.
to make it kind of like, you know, an arms room of the old world, but modernize it. Make people feel ingratiated into the firearms community. And to have a cool space to be able to talk about history, to talk about the firearms, to talk about everything in between. And this is kind of it.
Do you recognize?
I think he needs courage.
Sit. What do we got there?
This is a vintage book on Colt firearms that includes, let me see if I can find it, Ian Fleming's personal guns. The only book I've ever found that has photos of them.
Wait, let me get this straight. This is the only book where you can find this?
The only one. I found a copy of this because someone had it referenced in a footnote somewhere that he had bought Fleming's guns.
This is the type
And
of research,
so
spy research I'm talking about,
I
folks.
had to find this book to confirm what variants of guns Ian Fleming owned.
Can you find the page?
Yeah, how about the man with the golden gun right here?
Oh my gosh.
Right there. And you can see the dust jacket illustration, and gun number D is the actual firearm that was used by Chopping to do the illustration. Insane.
Only you, Caleb. Only you.
That's what I do.
So you could tell the James Bond fans by the Connolly shirts, the Thunderbolt shirts, the Sunspill shirts. What watch do you have, sir?
Well, it's actually TGV. It's supposed to look like a...
But here's the thing. It looks like
a
Fleming's
Rolex.
Explorer. Yeah.
Yeah, Explorer.
I get
Ian
it.
Fleming.
And then you've got RGT jackets over there. So it's raining Bond people. Everybody's enjoying some libations. We've got some Jack Daniels, some Maker's Mark. Speaking of Mark, what do you got drinking there?
H2O. Yeah.
Going for the strong
High
stuff.
quality H2O.
Wow.
Don't have too many.
Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher.
That's what
right.
it sounds like.
I haven't
High
seen that in a while.
quality.
Waterboy.
Got Nate. You've got your Maker's Mark and
I got
coat.
bad decisions ready
Everybody
right here.
enjoying? We're gonna saddle up to the bar.
Oh, man.
All right, this is the proper Bond lifestyle. We have our drinks in hand. What are you drinking?
Gin and tonic, of course.
Gin and
I was
tonic.
reading Dr. No on the way over, so it felt good.
Very appropriate. I've got Jack on the Rocks, which
Easy.
again is a Bond drink. But listen, I love the fact that we've got about 30 Bond fans here today who are local,
Yeah.
who have never been to this amazing temple
Yeah.
of history and armament.
We also have people from the East Coast. We've got
Yes.
folks from Florida,
Yes.
Kansas City, of course.
Yes.
We've got it all over. We have people everywhere, and they all came here.
And by the way, I want to give credit where credit's due. Caleb introduced me to this amazing world that we're experiencing, and now you have been kind of the harbinger, the messenger of all this. How does this make you feel?
You know, the last 7 years of doing it, my Instagram account has really been about bringing our worlds together, so the world of firearms and the world of Bond, which do coexist,
They do.
into one kind of magical place, and Rock Island's the place to do that.
It is.
So it was really cool to bring you here the first time, and it's awesome to bring you back, and then to kind of throw the old Charlie Chaplin hook around another dozen or couple dozen people.
You know, the only thing
so
that's
cool.
going to make this even more auspicious if eventually we have 100 to 175 Bond fans or people that really appreciate the history of armament. You think it could ever happen?
I think we can make that work. I don't know.
We could try.
There's a bar.
There is a bar. All right, so listen, you know me by now. I'm into the Bond lifestyle, and Caleb was crossing the auction house, and he was wearing this puppy right here. What do we got?
This is a made-to-measure by Shepherd's Menswear safari jacket inspired by the man with the golden gun. I custom built it myself, horn buttons, the light cotton linen blend, epaulets, and then one thing that you don't see in the film that I elected to do was the sleeve retaining straps,
Get
which
up close with
you
that.
typically see just on field shirts.
Yes.
But I have a 15-month-old baby. Rolled sleeves don't really stay rolled, so I elected to do that. And I want to wear it as an overshirt. So I actually shortened the hem of the jacket a little bit to give it that overshirt feel. I creased the collar to give it that nice open feel. And I'm wearing it with the 1980s Banana Republic, made in the British Crown Colony of Hong Kong field shirt.
See, this guy is the detail guy. The other thing that I love about this is he didn't scrimp. Like, he's got the epaulets, you've got the horn buttons. You don't want to miss out on any of those details. But the other thing is, this was hand built for movement. It's not pretty.
Yeah.
It's not there to sit on a hanger. You're using this.
Yeah.
And that's why I say some of the most practical things are the most stylish things, because you actually use them.
Things that have utility have beauty, and therefore they have use. So we enjoy them because they fit our daily lives. I cut this so I can wear it all summer. I can carry with it comfortably. It has a nice little cinch at the waist, so it actually holds relatively closed while I am even leaving it open. So if I want to carry it in 3 o'clock position with like a baby on the chest, I can. I have to now factor that in to my EDC formula.
No judgment.
So figure it out and deal with it. But yeah, I absolutely love this thing. I'm a huge Thomas Magnum fan, huge Roger Moore fan. Both
It all
were
came
huge
together.
fans of the green and the safari. So this is how this happened.
Fully loaded.
Fully loaded indeed.
We have dancing, too.
I was crying in the rain.
A lot of the Bond people gathering at both tables and getting to know each other, and a lot of them are locals and they're gun collectors. So they had no idea each other existed, but now they're getting together, grabbing some libation, and pretty soon, some amazing barbecue. So I'm joined again with Kyle.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Easy, smiles, and beautiful watches.
Close enough.
No, it's not.
Looks
What
good,
is it?
doesn't it? Easy smiles and expensive watches.
Expensive watches.
Wherever you follow your Instagram accounts, ladies and gentlemen.
Kyle, I need to ask you several questions. We're here in kind of the mecca, certainly of Texas, of historical artifacts as they relate to weapons and guns and tanks,
Cannons.
cannons, artillery galore. What attracted you to this place today?
Well, I'll always attend a Bond event where I can socialize with my friends and have a good time with good people. That's number one.
True.
But I'm a history guy. I've been a history buff. My degree is in history. So seeing historical artifacts always holds some appeal to me. And I do dabble in collecting firearms a little bit, so that also held some of the appeal. So those three things definitely made the trip worth it.
Now, as we were sort of doing the round in the preview here, and we were getting a tour from Matt from marketing, even Caleb was helping us, I noticed one of the things that you do extremely well, not surprised, was able to see some of this weaponry in relation to movies.
Yeah.
So how much of the allure, even for your own weaponry, is the movie influence?
Oh, that's a huge influence in it. I'm a huge movie guy, big movie buff, and I like collecting things that are kind of in-world in movies. So a lot of the things that a character like James Bond would use in that world hold a lot of appeal to me.
Yeah. And even you were going around, I mean, you could literally Private Ryan, different places like that.
Dropping out quotes and
Yeah.
stuff like that, you know. Silverado came up, and I think Indiana Jones came up. So things like that.
How often do you find yourself going to the range? Are you avid, or is it just mostly collecting?
I went to the range on Thursday.
That's pretty recent.
Did pretty well.
Yeah.
I try and get there once a month. I feel like these are things that need to be taken very seriously,
Yes.
and a skill that needs to be honed if you are going to enter into that world. You should only do so with the appropriate training, the appropriate knowledge.
So, mea culpa, I've actually made mistakes in this department where I would go to the range, I'd shoot, and then 4 months later I might go back. And what I found was any incremental gain of proficiency and skill set that was created was entirely neutralized. Is that true? Like, how consistent do I need to be?
It's like any other muscle. The more you work that particular muscle, the stronger it's going to be. I mean, I don't have to tell you that. This guy's a block of granite.
Marble.
The more you train, the more proficient you become, and the less you train, the more that skill atrophies.
Right. This is an unfair question. Kyle did not know I was going to ask him this. You've seen and perused a lot of different things today. If you were given sort of an unlimited funds, which none of us have that, what would you gravitate to here?
It's a good question. Some of the things that I've gravitated towards are a little bit more 20th century based. So some of the Lugers from World War II, the Walther that was modeled after one of Patton's guns, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Some of the weapons from the Vietnam War I thought were pretty cool. So I'm more of a 20th century guy. I think Norman Schwarzkopf's sidearm, his actual sidearm is here. That's pretty cool because I remember seeing those news events occur in real time. So that would be a really neat historical artifact for me personally.
So, last question is an interpretive dance question. I do need your interpretation. So, I am finding myself gravitating to some of the mohawks over there. Mohawks. I can't believe I said mohawk. Tomahawks. I don't deserve any of them after mispronouncing like that. But there's a smaller tomahawk over here. How would you interpret that? Instead of looking at some of the guns, I'm looking at a tomahawk. Does it make me infantile? Like, what is that?
No, I think that's just the attraction that you have. I mean, sometimes it's like any sort of artifact.
Yes.
We feel a connection with it or we don't. We feel that way with watches. We feel that way with cars, where it either does something to us, it tickles that itch, or it doesn't.
Or it doesn't.
And maybe you have an inclination towards Native American history, or maybe you've just been reading James Reese novels lately.
That could be. It could be the double tomahawks.
Could be, yeah.
Damn it. It belongs in a museum.
So do you.
So do you, Dr. Jones. Kyle, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
We're going to head back to the auction and watch a couple other $1 million auctions go by.
Today's widely regarded as foremost modern living Western artist. 65,000 bid, 70,000 bid, 75, where we go, 75.
Okay, so everybody's very nervous that they're going to lose their watches. Yeah. But we are playing for watches now. 2 out of 3 wins. Look at all the pictures going.
Time to raise the stakes.
All right, let's get the shadows off. You don't always get this amazing Mutual of Omaha, Wild Kingdom look at how these watch pictures are taken. But this is the secret. We've got photographer extraordinaire Caleb Daniels in the wild. Keep it quiet. Don't frighten them away.
Be very careful.
Be very quiet. We're hunting watches. Still nervous that he won't get his watch back. Very nervous.
Killing me, David.
Very scared. He needs to go back to GoldenEye.
All right, boys.
Well, as typical here, is a lot of people got to know each other very quickly. The auction is still going on, and we still have about 30 to 35 Bond fans from the community still here, roving around, taking a look at all the merchandise. And yes, a few have been tempted, but really this was to bring the entire community together, especially Dallas. I mean, Dallas, Texas, and actually we're in Bedford right now, doesn't always get the focus from James Bond. This was giving it a focus, which is a lot of fun. I think one of the side effects of sort of ringing the dinner bell of the Bond experiences that we all have together is attracting people from a community that didn't even know each other existed. We were meeting so many people that they were maybe 10 minutes down the road, 20 minutes down the road, maybe 30 minutes at the most, but they hadn't found each other. This was a great way to just galvanize and bring people together. And now we've got 5 or 6 people that are within driving distance from each other that can be Bond fans and flock together. You know, the tribes find each other. That's exactly what we do when we hunt everybody down and bring them into one area. Oh, did I also mention we had to do the obligatory watch picture? Yeah, this has become tradition, habit. You take your choice. I mean, didn't wear a Bond watch today, wore the burgundy bezeled Tudor, but everybody else was adorned in their best Bond accessories. Just typical of us. All right, well, so we're going to get back to the action. I'm going to head back inside, and then we've got a little after party that's sort of brewing. So Okay, well, it's the next day, and I am comfortably here in the Dallas Fort Worth airport. Went right through security, literally record time, 3-4 minutes. So easy in, easy out. I like that. But this has also given me some time to think about the side effects of coming to these Rock Island auctions, having these gatherings of Bond fans from in and around the area that I did not expect. I mean, certainly, since this is my second time doing the auction, I expected to get storytelling. I expected to get history, to see very unique armament, and by the way, be surrounded by people that understood how to give laymen like me the explanation. But in calling all Bond fans to the area, we had about 35 people from the Bond community show up. So many of them within an hour's drive that didn't even know each other. So the first side effect was we were able to matchmake other Bond fans that had never connected. And now they've exchanged numbers, locations. They're probably going to get together on their own, have lunches or movie watching. I mean, a little bit of the side effect of everything that we do here is building relationships and connecting people and sort of expanding, if you will, the Bond community, which I have a lot of passion for. The second side effect, which I did not expect, but why didn't I expect this? This constantly happens, is the kinsmanship that happens in these cases, where you just sit down and all the Bond stuff falls away and you start to talk about family and you start to talk about vacations, what you like and what you don't like, and you create so much conformity. And what I mean by that is not conformity in a kind of a robotic way of everybody dresses alike. And no, it's conformity and understanding that you are surrounded by people with like-minded tastes. There's a gentleman who I sat next to, Jonathan, great guy, wound up bringing his wife later to have tacos with all of us, which was a lot of fun, and margaritas at 1 a.m, as you do at some of these things. But what I loved about Jonathan was, immediately I see the Tom Ford sunglasses, I see the Connolly linen shirt, and we're talking about this. And yes, some of the trappings were the same, the things that he gravitated to from a Bond lifestyle standpoint. But then we just started talking about life. And we started to talk about likes and dislikes and where we wanted Bond to go. And I'm like, this guy's like a brother from another mother. That tends to happen. We sort of flock together, not because of sameness, but because the uniqueness of our stories combined really create an amazing side effect of relationships. I'll even go one step further. Not just relationships, because that sounds a bit cold. Friendships. And I'm going to go back to Rock Island Auction. Rock Island Auction, they're 50% an auction, but the other 50% is bringing people together. They're about community. They do a lot of charitable things, but they love when the room is filled, when it's filled with people, when it's filled with camaraderie, when people are laughing, when there's life. The thing that they dislike the most is silence in the audience, or no audience. But when it's teeming, like it was packed yesterday, and 35, 40 of us in the room were Bond community people, laughing, connecting, watching, some of us bidding, some people winning. And that excitement, this is not just a spectator sport, it is really just to get involved, really became seismic. And now, of course, the local folks, the local Bond communities are going to be coming back again and again because they've created such a welcoming place. Yes, sure, there's libations and there's barbecue and food and all the trappings we get to know. But there is such a sense of welcome and community that can't be replicated in a lot of different organizations. I was part of corporate America for a long time. A lot of corporations all over the world, they try to replicate this homegrown feeling. It's got to be real, it's got to be organic, and Rock Island Auction captured that, and they invited us in. So who knows, this is my debrief moment, we may be expanding this. Who knows, maybe a gather-all will be in our future at Rock Island Auction, and just let people share in the camaraderie and the sense of community that we've all felt. Well, we're going to be boarding soon. Wrist roll. Wrist. I got nothing. I got nothing. This has been David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience, signing off from Dallas. I'll probably see you very soon back here. Take care. Thanks for watching the Bond Experience. If you like what you saw, why don't you subscribe to the channel by clicking this button right here. We'll keep you up on everything new that's happening in the world of Bond. And speaking of something new, here's something new just for you because we know you so well. Talk to you soon.